TechFan Productions here, bringing you an updated video on how to upgrade your Directv receiver's firmware. First thing you really want to do is you want to check to see what version you're currently on. So you're going to go hit menu, you're going to scroll all the way down to settings, you're going to click on info and test. You can see here I'm running version 1079. That version is what they call beta as of this video. 3 easy steps to upgrading. I want to note that the HS17 has a different process. I list that in the notes on the bottom, as well as some other great information, so please check that out. I also show you through this entire video the process and the differences between the two, as well as things to know about everything. So another tip here is to go to the redh.com site. I list a link in the bottom. Take a look at that. That will tell you what currently is in the stream in terms of firmware. Now, during the day after 7 a.m. Eastern time, and all times I quote in here are Eastern time zone, the HR 54 and 44, if you force it to downgrade, it will be the old GUI. Now, there's pluses and minuses of the old GUI, because what's going to happen is if you downgrade it pretty much next day or the day after, you're going to automatically be re-upgraded again, so I highly don't recommend it. So here's the RedH Firmware Watcher website. Has a lot of great information on what's currently in the stream for the HR receiver as well as the mini clients. What's most important here is that the 1037 is the current, as of this video, the current release, general release that everybody's getting upgraded to. And this is in the stream from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, on the minis, they also have some newer firmware here too, between that time frame, but those are really push only, so don't worry about updating them. Just leave them, and they're not dependent on the Genie, so you'll be set if you upgrade. Another thing to cover here is about beta. Beta firmware is something that is the latest and greatest of what they're pushing as far as testing. This is from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday only. As of a couple weekends ago, the version was 1075. As of last week, it was 1079. Also note that the HS17 can be upgraded too, but just follow the process that I outlined in the notes below. So let's show you what that looks like. You're going to hit the red button on the right-hand side of your HR receiver, and after it comes back up and you see a blue splash screen, you're going to hit 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And you'll see the screen pop up. It will say new software found. Now what that means is whatever is currently in the stream is the new software found. It will start and download that software. I had a newer version 1079, and now it would be downgrading to 1037. That's okay. You can either upgrade, downgrade. You can downgrade to the old GUI. As I said earlier, by doing that, it's going to just upgrade to the new GUI most likely the next day or the day after. So again, I don't recommend that. If you're upgrading to CE, that's known as beta, there's some risk that carries that some things could work, not work. You really cannot. If you upgrade to a CE and you have a problem, you're not going to be able to call Directv for help. So I don't recommend upgrading to CE unless you're really looking to do some beta testing. I've been doing it for a while now. I haven't had any issues with it. But, you might see some things that, might not look right, or things that might not act right, and there's not much you could do about that. Just wait for the next version to come out or downgrade back to 1037. After it fully boots back up, you'll see that if you're coming from the old menus, you'll have these new menus. If you're coming from another environment, such as an older version, you might see that the fonts on the left-hand side, otherwise known as logos, or the posters might not show up. They'll re-download in a few hours. So don't worry about that. They'll come back, as well as the on-demand as well. So let's talk about the new menus. And I know you don't like them either. And I get a lot of folks that are upset. They leave comments saying that it's hard to see. The fonts are not, the colors should be different and everything else. I agree 100% with everybody who makes those comments. I definitely like the old GUI better. I do like the layout and the more space they've used the new GUI, so there are some positive things, and it does take time to get used to. So I suggest anybody that just got upgraded, you're probably watching this video because you got upgraded recently, or you're getting a new receiver and the receiver was just upgraded because when they sent you had the old GUI on it. Whatever it is, you're absolutely right. The old one was definitely larger in font size when it came to the guide. I suspect they did this to just fit more in here. I also suspect they're trying to align across all their products with a similar type of guide. This guide does look a lot like some of the other guides that are out there from other providers. So it kind of fits in there. The problem is just as myself, I have a 65-inch television set. When I sit back on the couch, and I try to read the guide as well as try to read as I'm going through here. You try to read that information that's on the right hand side as the synopsis of what's in the program. Well, sitting that far back, I cannot read that. It's like reading an eye chart with the little things that are at the bottom. Not going to happen for me. So I agree 100%. They should make that bigger. If you look around, there's a lot of empty space on the right hand side. There's empty space on the left hand side. I suspect some of this is done, and it's just a guess here, for folks that are still have 4x3 television sets. You're going to get those sides cut off, and I think if they went with that as the norm, as being 16:9, those folks probably wouldn't see the numbers in the guide. That's just a guess. I got no idea. I hope that they increase the font size in the future. I hope they take up some of that space. I don't think they're listening to the customers. A lot of people say, well, I'm going to cancel. Well, you can cancel just as, I can cancel too. But one of the reasons that I'm with Directv is for the picture quality. The picture quality is excellent compared to some of the other carriers out there. There are some other good ones, but I really enjoy the quality they're putting out. I enjoy the 4K channels. And, of course, I'm on a deal like many others. There's promo deals that you can get that makes the service less expensive than some of the other ones out there. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm with them. I put out these videos just to, help you improve on some of the situations that you might be seeing, or some tips of things, how to do things a little bit better. So, with that said, definitely this is only just something to kind of help out. I'm not recommending that you either upgrade, downgrade. I'm just showing you my experiences, things I've done. The reason that I participate in the CE, which is the beta, is I want to see those new fonts finally come out with bigger ones and things I can see. So I'm hoping that each next update brings something better. And what I've seen to date is really just them increasing the logo size. Menus were a lot more fluid. Any of the issues were worked out, such as there were video issues, audio issues, things like that. So it's been pretty rock solid lately. So hey, keep up the good work. So one thing I wanted to show is if you downgrade your receiver, and what happens there. So you'll see I'm currently on the upper right hand side, version 1077. What will happen is whatever is currently in the stream, which is why I always say to check that link, the Red H, with all the other stuff in that link there, because if you just put redh.com, it won't take you to the actual page. So what happens if you download here is that again, whatever is currently in the stream is what you're going to download. So if you happen to actually download and start to download and say, oh, that's not what I wanted, what you can do is just reboot the receiver and it'll go back to the original version. So one thing to note, there's some folks that have HR 54s and a few other receivers, not all the 54s, but some of the sub models. You'll find that you have to change the remote back to IR from RF temporarily to do the update. And that's the instructions on how to do that. I'll also include that in the link so you can grab it from there. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up. It takes a lot to make these videos. So, hey, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.